Harry, right?
Right.
Harry, I'm Charles Collins, and this is my wife Carol on the camera. She'll probably ask more questions than I do.
Okay.
We want to start out by asking you your full name and where and when you were born.
My full name is Harry Daleure. I was born in Salem, Indiana. I was born July 16th, 1926.
Really? You're older than I, Harry. That's different, isn't it?
Salem.
Do you remember much before you went to school?
Yeah,
Tell us a little bit about that.
before I went to
Before you went
school.
to school.
Well, I remember us having a lot of snow and ice,
Yeah,
and we'd make skis out of wooden barrels.
yeah.
And I was raised in a town of 5,000. It's a wonderful town to be raised in.
I bet.
Yeah, it really was. We didn't have much. We didn't have much activities for the kids, but we made our own, and it was a great place to be from.
Would you like a cup of coffee, Harry?
No, thank you. I don't.
Okay. What was your father's name, Harry?
My father's name was George.
And your mother?
Mary.
Mary. And what did George do for a living?
He was a candy maker, confectionery, and everything. It run in my family, all
right.
my relatives and everything. They'd come over from Greece and learn a trade, and then they'd bring people over, relatives, and teach them the trade, and they'd scatter out and open up.
How old was your father when he came over here?
I think he was 13 years old.
And your mother?
I think she was 12.
She was from Greece too?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
So they met, and how old were they when they got married?
Well, I can't tell you. Let's see. Dad was born in 1886. My mother was 1893.
1880. Must have been, if she was only a year younger, she was born in
Yeah.
1887.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't tell you. They were young.
Yeah, I figured they were,
Yeah.
but I thought maybe you'd know, but that's
No.
not important. Harry, as you grew up and went to grade school, where did you start kindergarten at?
We didn't have kindergarten.
Okay, I bet you didn't. And first grade, where did you start that?
In Salem.
In Salem.
Yes.
And do you remember anything about your first day?
Yeah, I remember the first day I went to school, I got a spanking.
Oh!
Oops.
First
That was the
day.
way to start it out, wasn't it?
Well, I had a harmonica, and nobody ever told me I couldn't blow it. So I was blowing it in class and everything, and she told me to quit. And I didn't, so she took me. And I had wool knickers on, I couldn't feel it.
Great.
Now, did you go to a country school or a one-room school or was
No,
in
it was
town?
regular grade school, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was, the floors were all wood, but they make a cracking sound every time. You could hear a person coming to the other end of the hall.
How did they heat the building?
How did they what?
Heat. You know, get it warm? How did they heat it? Did they have furnaces and stuff, or did they have a stove in each room?
Oh, we had our, you know, what grade you're in.
Mm-hmm.
We had our room, and they had regular desks and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Now, did you stay in that room all the time, or did you go to different rooms?
No,
You went to different rooms.
no, wait a minute. Yeah, we did stay. First grade, second grade, third grade, we'd be in one room.
Yeah. Just one teacher.
Hmm.
Do you remember any of your friends back then, or their names, or
Oh,
things
sure.
that you did?
Oh, yes. Yeah, one was named Jack Gresham. We grew up to be very good friends. And he just died last year. He died of cancer.
Oh my!
Ate him up. But he was in the Korean War.
Mm-hmm.
No, wait a minute. He was in the Second World War, and then they took him back in Korea.
They called him
yeah.
back in.
When he got discharged, they brought him back.
Yeah.
So, I
So-
had a lot of friends.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about high school. What did you do in high school?
Basketball.
All right.
Yeah, I was captain 2 years in a row.
All right. Yeah.
And basketball was everything there. And we didn't have a football team.
You didn't.
We had young farm kids,
Yeah.
big as a barn.
You didn't have a football team. Of course,
Didn't
they
have
was
football.
they was busy working on the farm. That's why.
Yeah, and then basketball just took over.
Sure.
Our gym would hold something like 2,500 people, and you couldn't get a seat every game.
Yeah.
They really liked basketball.
Well, you was pretty tall too.
Back then, I was. It was considered tall. I played center, and the only one I played against he was 6'7", but he was all feet.
Midgets compared to today's basketball players.
Oh my goodness! They wouldn't allow us in the gym. But we were good for the day.
Yes.
For the time that it was just right for us.
I bet you
But
like those.
I can't believe basketball now.
Oh.
I can't
I
either.
can't believe it.
When they could jump up and stick their hand through the hoop, that's not basketball to me.
They can just about touch the rim with it.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. 7 foot, 7 foot and a half.
Well, not quite that tall, I don't think, but you never can tell.
How about the
There's-
cheerleaders? Did you ever go out with the cheerleaders?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I did. She passed away a couple of years ago.
Well, you kept in contact with all your school buddies. then.
Yeah, being president 4 years in a row, I had a kind of machine going there.
I guess you did.
And we'd have every 5 years get together, and now I don't know how many. I didn't go
Aren't too
this
many
time,
left.
but boy, there's a lot of them went away, passed away.
How many school letters did you get?
How many what?
You know, for basketball, your letters that go on your sweaters and stuff.
Well, I had for basketball, for track, and that was it. I didn't go in for anything else.
What year did you graduate, Harry?
1943.
43. Okay.
Graduated and went in the Marine Corps.
Went right in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, went right in.
Right.
Okay,
Had
well,
it all set up.
tell us all about joining the Marine Corps and what happened the first day.
Well, first of all, when we had to leave for the Marine Corps, we left on a train that went through our town to Louisville, Kentucky, and it was two of us,
Okay.
and we knew each other real well. But the hotel, they kept us overnight in Louisville, and my people gave me chicken and candy and everything, they couldn't hardly carry all of it. But at nighttime, you could hear those rats going,
Really?
eating it up, yeah, we was afraid to get out of bed.
Oh.
And then we went by train to San Diego, And we laughed and joked and everything. And when we got there to San Diego, there was a big, heavy-set Marine with hash marks, meaning every 4 years.
All up
he
and down
was
his,
there. Yeah.
clear to his shoulder
Oh,
almost.
he was Sergeant Major.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Okay, you SOBs, you've had your day 11." He said, "Now you're mine." And we were his.
And
too.
you were his, huh?
Yeah.
Had you ever been out of your home state before that?
Oh, yeah. We went to Greece for a year and a half
Oh,
during the Depression.
Yeah. Okay.
And Chicago. Well,
So you had traveled.
every state, my dad knew candy makers and relations.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd come and stay with us, and we'd go stay with them. And yeah, we quite a bit. We'd
okay.
go out there.
So you took your basic in San Diego?
Yes,
Tell us a little bit about Marine basic training.
it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, we get up at 4:30,
Mm-hmm.
and we run the obstacle course. Now, I'm 17 years old, and you got guys in there 30, 35 years old. They are dying.
I bet they are.
I mean, you could have just put dirt over them, and they wouldn't
Wouldn't even move, yeah.
wouldn't care a bit.
Is that every day?
Every day. Then we started having to run twice. You run it one time in the morning, you go right through it before breakfast. You run it twice.
Wow.
Now that was rough,
Yeah.
and it was hot there. And I'll never forget President Roosevelt. They lined us up on the parade ground at attention. We was in our dress wools
Oh.
and hot.
Hotter
It was
than heck,
terrible.
huh?
And we waited for Roosevelt to come through. Well, and came a car, just zoom, like that. Roosevelt went through. He went right through.
Went zipping right through, huh?
Yeah, guys were passing out from
Yeah.
the heat and everything. But
They
even-
didn't have the light uniforms back then, huh?
They had to dress blues.
But they were wool?
No, they weren't wool.
Oh, okay.
But
You weren't in your dress.
the greens.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would go out on leave on them.
Mm-hmm.
Girls liked them better.
Colorful.
Yeah.
So after basic training, what did you do then?
Well, they wanted to send me to school.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I didn't come in the Marine Corps to go to school. I want to fight. They shipped me right over.
So you went to the Asian theater?
The what?
In the Asian theater? Now, did you go to Europe or Asia?
No, I went to, in the Pacific.
Yeah, in the Pacific. Yeah, okay. Excuse me.
And I was in,
Where did you go in the Pacific then?
well, I went on Peleliu.
Okay.
We had a rest camp 80 miles from Guadalcanal. And it was all coconut trees.
Yeah. How did you get to Peleliu?
How did I get there?
Yeah.
Boat?
Did you go right from the ship to
Yeah,
there?
from a ship to landing craft.
Okay, and you got on a landing craft and went
Uh,
up. That's where Ali
No, it
Sweetland
was-
was.
Yeah.
Biggest battle. They don't talk about much about Peleliu. 'Cause
They
made a
don't.
big
They really don't. But it was a
blunder.
big battle. It was a lot tougher than they thought it was going to be.
Well, it took us 3 days to get in,
Yeah.
and they were built in. Oh, in the cliffs, they had caves and
Yeah.
mortars. They could pinpoint those mortars. They practiced, and shortest airfield, they take off and drop their bombs. 3 by 5 mile island, there was something like 23,000 Japanese, and it was I think 24,000 of us going in there.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crowded.
Yeah. We interviewed another gentleman about 5 years ago that was in the invasion of Peleliu, and he said that it was quite easy to get on the first day or two, but then you begin to meet the Japanese resistance.
Now
It was tough.
that was Okinawa for me.
Was it?
We went in on Okinawa, and we had a 90-day wonder. School teacher
Okay.
went 90 days and
Oh,
got his
yeah.
bars. And he lined us up for roll call when we got on. We was the first wave.
and you got on Okinawa and he lined you up for roll call?
Roll call.
Okay. You're a smart man, wasn't he?
49 of my people got killed.
Mm-hmm.
They shot them. They were behind some old wooden boats, beat up wooden boats. But then a week later, his name was Shimolowski, Lieutenant Shimolowski. I tell you this, but he got his head blown off too.
Yeah.
And it wasn't by the Japanese.
Oops. That's what's called friendly fire nowadays.
Friendly fire.
Yeah. So how long was you on the island of Peleliu?
Well, I was on there, I'd say a week.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Ollie was on there 3 months. He also was a Marine, and he was on there 3 months.
Yeah.
So you went right from Peleliu to where? To Okinawa?
No, went to rest camp.
Okay, so you went back.
They called it Pavu
Okay.
in the Palu group.
Mm-hmm.
And they shipped me, picked some men out, and we went to, I've been there and I can't pronounce the name. Tarawa.
Yes.
Some of them say Tarawa, some
Yeah.
say Tarawa. And we were there just 3 days, but it was terrible. Absolutely
was.
horrible. Yeah. It was bad.
Did you get a chance to sleep or there, or was it just?
Was it constant fighting, or was it?
No, it was just, you had to be on your toes.
Yeah.
you know.
Did
Yeah.
no? You actually landed again there at Tarawa, Tarawa, isn't it?
They're saying Tarawa, and
Tea.
I don't know what you call
Okay.
it anymore.
Did you land in landing craft there as well?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you got off of the landing craft, what did you experience? That was a tough battle, as I remember.
It was tough. It was, yeah. Your buddies were just falling like mad.
Yeah.
I mean, now Peleliu, there was 90% casualties.
Yes.
Dead and wounded.
Mm-hmm.
You was lucky to come off of that.
Yeah, we all were. Then when we went to rest camp, it was nothing but coconuts, trees. We had to pay the British $25 if we cut one down.
Ah.
But more people run around with neck casts. Coconuts drop and
Hit 'em.
hit them right on the head.
Oh my.
So you didn't stay under the coconut trees too long, did you?
No. No.
So how did you where did you stay when you was on the rest camp? In barrackses or in tents?
Tent.
Tents?
Pyramid tents, sleep 8 people. I got there and the Carlson Raiders, they were pretty famous. And they came over to our outfit. And I got in with 7 of those guys, and I was white as a sheet, and they were brown for the sun and
Yeah.
and Aderbun tablets, for malaria. Well, they really gave me a rough time. Just, I mean, tell you, anytime they could get to me, they would. So one time they went to some meeting they was having. I took a 5-gallon can of gasoline, poured it over everything they had. Now I shouldn't, and I threw a match to that, and it went up just like that. We were friends ever after that.
Oh, they didn't have anything
You had to
left.
fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah, we were friends after that.
So you was in the Battle of Peleliu, and then you was in the Battle of Tarawa,
yeah.
I think it is. I don't know how you pronounce that one. And then, how long was you there? You landed and took the beach.
You mean Tarawa?
Yeah,
We were there 3 days.
3 days again.
That's all the battle was.
Okay.
But fierce.
They captured that for an airfield, did they not? Isn't that what they did, was put an airfield on there? Yeah.
3 days was, I was in Cornet magazine. Roosevelt had a D-Day prayer, and he had my picture in there and other pictures, and he'd put, a saying like a prayer or something. But that was really a rough place. I was down to 150 pounds,
Ooh.
200 pounds less than that.
Yeah. Now they, you lost a lot of companions there at that battle.
Yeah.
And then did you go to a rest camp again then after the 3 days, or
Yeah, we went back. They
to the same place
took
or
us
different?
back to Pabubu,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was Okinawa.
Then you went to Okinawa.
We had to listen on our way. Tokyo Rose
Yeah.
says, "We're waiting for you. We know you're coming to Okinawa."
Yeah.
And they gave her, who was that? Carter, I think.
Finally, give her a medal after all those years. Yeah.
And she died in Chicago. She lived in Chicago.
She was an
But
American.
I thought that was terrible.
Yes.
I mean, she was a traitor.
Well, she
And
tried.
she'd play our kind of music,
Yeah.
Didn't she try to say that she was forced to do that?
Well, I imagine she did, but she wasn't.
She
forced.
sounded.
She sounded
She liked
happy
it,
what
yeah.
she was doing.
Now they always sent the Marines in first before they sent anybody else in, didn't they?
Yeah,
Sure they did.
it seemed to be that way.
So your approach into Okinawa, again, was from a landing craft on the first wave, or
Yeah, first wave.
wow.
And
Tell us a little bit about the action at that time.
well, we lost 49 men, but we cleaned them up, and the Japanese had shot at us, and we went days before we encountered anything.
Oh, really?
And down, we were in the north, and about the middle of Okinawa, there was a 27th Army Division that just got blown up. They were casualties. We went down there, and they had them stacked up, the dead bodies, and they take a bulldozer and they dig a great big hole, then
Yes.
they push it over. Then people write and say they want to get their son's remains. they'd never get this.
That was the American soldiers that they
Yeah.
did this to?
You had to, it's so hot there.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Well, yeah, it was quite the
There's
smell,
nothing,
I bet.
yeah, nothing worse than the smell of a dead body.
No,
What was your thoughts before you got off your boat or the landing
landing
craft?
craft, yeah.
What was your thoughts before they put that thing down?
Well, I wasn't afraid.
Really?
Wasn't afraid. I was too young. See, the Marine Corps wants the young people.
Sure.
Nothing can hurt you.
No, you can't die.
Yeah.
No, it's
Well, you was really lucky not to be injured in those 3 places.
well, I got 2 Purple Hearts.
You got shot.
Working on it now. I was wounded twice, and the man that we had in charge of writing down and put it in our books and everything, records, never did one thing. Prisoner of war, I just got recognized for that.
Okay. So
And,
where were you at when you were captured?
Okinawa.
Okinawa.
Yeah.
Okay. That was,
Well, they put us in. They had those tunnels.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
They put us in the tunnel, and there wasn't much. Maybe 3 foot wide and 3 or 4 foot tall. And they kept us in there. Total darkness.
Oh,
How many
my.
was in there?
Oh, I can't stand darkness anymore.
How many soldiers did they capture?
Well, where I was at, it was just me and another guy, and there must have been 15 altogether. But me and this guy, he was a sergeant, and his name was Sergeant.
Oh, God.
So we call him Sergeant.
So how long was you there?
Not very long, 6 weeks.
So how did they treat you?
Huh?
How did they treat you? Did
Are
they
you-
bring you out of the tunnels?
No.
Did you get food at that point, or how did you get, did they take care of you at all?
Once in a while you'd get rice,
Okay.
and that's it.
But that was still in the dark tunnel.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how were you rescued at that point?
Well, we said we're going to die,
Yeah.
so we planned to escape. And we did,
You did escape.
but he didn't make it.
Oh.
They were shooting at us, and he didn't make it.
How did you escape then?
Yeah, tell us
Just
your plan of
run.
escape.
How did you get out of the tunnel?
They'd get us up to stretch us a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and kind of let you stretch a little bit, and then put you back in there for quite a while. They were mean. Oh, they were mean people.
Well, where did you, when you had to go to the bathroom and stuff, how did you do that?
Didn't take a bath.
No, I mean when you had to go to the bathroom to
Right
urinate
there.
or,
Right there.
oh my.
Got a little smelly in there, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they had let you out to stretch that day when you
Yeah,
When you
that day
tell us about that a little
Just-
bit if you can.
they let us out, but it was dark time.
Okay.
They didn't want to see it.
Sure.
Sunlight. And they just let us walk around a little bit. They had guards all around
Yeah.
us. And we decided we were going to take off the first time we got out there. This was the second time.
Mm-hmm.
So we took off running into the jungle, and they kept shooting. We pretty well knew we was going to get killed,
Yeah.
but it's better than what we was going.
Better than what you was doing,
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Or you thought that.
I'll tell you one. We had this big battle by Yantan Airfield, and there was no way in the world that we could have got out alive. No way that you could get out alive. So me and my buddy discussed it. We stood up, and they couldn't hit us for anything. Couldn't hit it. It had to be God's protection.
Yeah, it had to be, yes.
Yeah. And God helped me over there. There was a foxhole that the Japanese built. They drill a big hole, and then they put logs over it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they. And I was up on this little hill, and you run right through a valley, and go up a hill, and there's a foxhole. And we was having this big air raid at Yantan, and I run for the foxhole, and I got just like being paralyzed.
Couldn't
And
run.
the boys told me to get down.
Yeah.
Well, I fell down. I mean, he took me down.
Yeah.
And later on, afterwards, it's estimated about a 40-pound chunk of metal, and went right through that.
Right through that foxhole, huh?
Yeah, right through the logs and so
Yeah.
forth.
Wow. That was quite an experience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So as you and your sergeant run out of this tunnel and escaped, he got killed, and was the Marines and the Army under control at Okinawa at that point, so that you got
No, it's still a battle.
still having a
Yeah.
battle going on.
Yeah.
So what did you do then? As you got out and you ran, what did you do? How did you get to the?
I finally found my old outfit,
Okay,
and I just went back there.
you just went back to
Yeah.
just went back to work, huh?
Yeah. Just a normal thing, I guess.
Did they recognize that you'd been gone for 6 weeks?
Yeah, but they
Yeah.
didn't put it in the book.
Well, you said the guy didn't put anything in the book. That's something else, isn't it?
Yeah. And the only reason I want it now is when I die, I'm 81, so
Sure.
I can go, heart
Yeah.
attack. I want my grandkids to
Darn right.
have this stuff.
Well,
Well, you tell their kids.
Your grandkids can have this copy of this DVD that we're doing right now,
Good.
and so keep that in mind. And this, I don't know what you call it, the experience with the foxhole and so on. Was that in Okinawa also?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how long did you stay on the island there?
We went in. Oh, we went in April 1st, 1945.
Yeah.
That was Easter Sunday, and April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
Now remember, the Navy was always supposed to give us a battle breakfast, steak and eggs.
Yeah.
The Rangers was always broken down. Never did get it.
Never did get anything. Never did get the steak and eggs, huh?
No.
And so we went in on April 1st, and when did you finally come out?
Okay. Golly, I'm trying to think it was June.
Wow.
Got sent to China to disarm the Japanese. We take the rifles and swords and anything that, was harmful. They had a lot of factories.
Chinese did.
Beijing, which is Beijing, used to be Peking,
Yep.
and I was in Tencent, and it was only about 80 miles away from Beijing.
So after Okinawa, you were sent to China.
It was there a year,
You was there a whole year.
yeah.
So what did you do in that year that you was there?
Well, I was in charge of the gasoline dump,
Ooh.
and I had an assistant, and he was selling the gas, 55-gallon drums, to the Russians.
There you go.
He could get 24 on a truck, on an M5, and I didn't know he was doing this. Well, they sent him to prison. They sent him
bet.
to,
bet.
his name was Kobelinsky. What was the name of that prison they sent him to?
Over there?
It was a Marine Corps
Leavenworth?
center prisoners there. I can't think of it. Blank.
So anyway, how long had you been in charge of the dump when they discovered that?
About 3 months.
About 3 months, huh? Uh-huh. I bet that was quite a shake-up.
Yeah. Of course, the best thing we did in China, we'd go into all the buildings, the factories, and everything. We went in this warehouse, and they had nothing but J&B Scotch,
Oh my.
Canadian Club whiskey. I mean, it was a big place. So we got the trucks, and we found us a cave, and we put them in there, and we put a guard on there all the time.
So you had plenty to drink while you was over
Oh, terrible.
there. Surprised the officers didn't get a hold of it.
Didn't have to drink that stump juice anymore. No,
So what-
I never drank much, but
What rank was you when you was in-
sergeant.
What was the highest rank you held?
Pardon?
What was the highest rank you held? Sergeant?
Sergeant. The Marine Corps didn't give promotions. Only way I got that, I was my platoon leader got killed, and they put me in charge, and I got the stripes afterwards.
So where did you go after China?
Came back to the United States on an LST.
Really?
What is
We
that?
got in it's a flat bottom ship. It goes about 14 knots, 14 miles an hour,
Wow.
15. We got tail end of a tidal wave and put a big split in us. And we was only doing 4 knots. And they let us out in Hawaii to repair it.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake they ever made. We'd go in a bar and they'd kick us out because we weren't old enough. So we said, the next bar we go to, that's it. We're going in. And there were Navy guys sitting in there and Marines, and they're all bored to death, just drinking. Oh, that was terrible.
I bet they weren't bored time you got out of there.
Oh, we never. But they were looking for us all the time. We had to hide from them, and
From who?
the MPs and SPs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They're probably still looking for us.
Stirred up a little hornet's nest there, huh?
Well, then, as you left Hawaii, how did you get back to the States then? When another LST, or
Yeah, the same LST.
just had
They
repaired
repaired
it?
And we pulled in San Diego, and the tide was out. Yeah.
Okay.
So they told us not to leave the ship, but we jumped overboard. And we went up, it wasn't deep, but went up to the beach. And there was a Red Cross stand that had coffee and donuts. And I hate to tell you this, but he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "Coffee and a donut." And they said, "That'll be so much."
That's right. That's right.
And I couldn't believe it.
That's why to this day I won't give to the Red Cross.
No, I don't. I won't even talk to them. But there was an island called Bikini. There was kind of a rest camp for high officers, and they had Red Cross nurses and so forth. And they just turned into whores. That's all there was.
Huh.
I mean, they was making a fortune over there.
Is that for the high officers or is that for anybody?
Is that what?
The nurses, do they prostitute themselves just to the high officers or to anybody?
Anybody that
Ah, it's a shame.
wanted.
After you got back to the States, what did you do?
I went to Camp Lejeune,
Yes.
and I thought the next day, I was there 3 or 4 days, but the next day I was going to get my discharge. Well, you kind of think they might have a band there
Yeah.
or recognize you for what you did.
Yeah.
I walked in this little Quonset hut, and he couldn't even pronounce my name right. Handed me my discharge, and I went out the other end. I was free. But there was no
No big band playing the
no band
Star
playing
Spangled
there.
Banner or anything, huh?
So, what did you do once you got out?
Well, I'll tell you the truth. I didn't do anything for 2 years. I'd saved my money, and I said, I'm just going to enjoy myself. Then I went up to Studebaker's to a wedding in South Bend, and I got a job at Studebaker. But for 42 years, I was in St. Joe, Michigan, and I run a private corporation owned by private individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave me full say. We manufactured replacement windows, the vinyl.
Okay. Yes.
And they let me do it my way, and we made money, and they made money, and it was real good.
Everybody
Good
was happy, huh?
Everybody was happy.
All right, in the meantime, did you ever get married?
Yes, I did. I went to a basketball game, and I told my buddy, I said, "See that girl over there?" He said, "Yeah, what about her?" He said, "I'm going to marry her."
Now, how old was you at this time?
I was 20,
It was after you got out of the service then.
21. And We did. We got married. I went with her something like 6 weeks before I had the nerve to kiss her, and that wasn't me. That was not me. But she got killed 4 years ago.
Oh
Oh
my.
my.
Yeah, we was married 57 years, and
Car accident or?
yeah, a truck
Oh my.
Oh
came
my.
across. He must have fallen asleep.
Mm-hmm.
It just hit her head on,
Oh my.
and we couldn't see the body. It was too mangled.
Oh my.
After 57 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she was down to her mother's in southern Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and she'd go there if she wanted to go to the dentist, or because
Sure.
she knew everybody. And I was supposed to go get her. This was on a Tuesday. She got killed, and I was supposed to go get her Friday, that following Friday.
Mm.
Boy, that's a shock, isn't it?
But yeah, in Indiana State Police call you up and
Yeah.
give you that news, man. Just
Over the
like
phone.
just like yesterday,
Yeah.
just like today, rather.
Yeah. So what year did you get out of the service?
I got out in 46.
46. All right. What did your wife do in that 57 years? Did she stay home or did she work or?
I wasn't married then. I married her.
No, I mean, you was married for 57 years, right? Or
Yeah.
47, 57. All right, what did she do in that time? I mean, while,
Oh, she was, back then they had bookkeeping machines.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then she went in and managed, oh, goodness gracious, for a book company, Hall of Cards.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
She loved doing that.
So-
Probably cost me more money for her to work than
Yes.
she stayed home,
Often did.
but she was happy.
Yeah.
Kids, how many kids did you have?
Just one
Girl? Boy?
girl, had a boy, he only lived 3 days.
Oh,
My daughter is 53, and she's just one in a million.
does she live around here?
Yeah, she lives in Rosebush, if you know where that's at,
No.
close to Mount Pleasant.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Does do you have any grandkids?
2 grandkids, 23 and 21,
What are their names?
Ryan and Nicole.
Boy and a girl.
Yeah,
Do you see them very often?
all the time. They
Fantastic.
come down and visit me, and my daughter has breast cancer. She's taken radiation, so she hadn't been here for 3 weeks. But it just seemed like things just kind of piled up on us.
Mm-hmm.
The cancer.
Yeah. So how long have you been here?
6 months.
Oh, you haven't been here that long then.
No.
Do you like it here?
I'm in a room of 4 people,
Oh.
and they don't talk.
Ah.
3. They just don't talk. They're so sick. They can't talk.
Wow.
And I said, why don't you take me out of this room, put me in another one where I can talk to people? We will.
Sometime, huh?
Yeah, sometime.
Yeah.
So the only time you get a chance to talk is when you go out of the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you haven't had a chance to see what they do in the summertime around here.
Well, now, I got here before closed the doors, you know.
Uh-huh.
Has that been 6 months or 7 months or?
Oh,
I can't tell you when they closed the doors.
no.
Well,
Did you hear
anyway,
when they had the carnival?
No,
Oh,
Okay.
you'll love that. You'll love that.
have a carnival, huh?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
They have what is it, about 10, 15,000 people here?
I think they had more like 8,000, honey.
Is it?
Yeah.
But it's
Well-
all out. It's all out in the field there. I mean, it's for you and your family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We have booths there, and they have everything.
You'll enjoy it
Oh yes.
If
if you're here then.
Is there a place where my family can stay overnight or just the motels?
I don't know.
I really don't know whether there is or not.
That's a good question. We'll find out.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
'Cause
So-
this,
Well, what we want to ask you too is, did your time in service have anything to do with the rest of your life? I mean, how you lived it? Did you
He
bring
was,
back anything?
he was a Marine, honey.
Yeah, but I mean, how did your time in service affect your life?
right at first, I was pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
All I wanted to do is fight. That's all there was to do.
Sure.
And I guess that's about it.
Taught you discipline, though, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And the value of life.
Pardon?
The value of life. After all the people
Yeah,
you seen get killed.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't think too much about that because I was too young.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, like we said,
Young and stupid.
yeah, young and stupid. Young people don't die.